in order to practice this power of unity, we have got to be conscious of how we perceive behavior. And there are stressful ways that we perceive behavior by, and that stressful way of perceiving behavior is when we see the good behavior and the bad behavior. And so this good behavior comes from the children who are good, and this bad behavior, well, comes from these children that are bad. So we have good children and bad children. Now, the good children, they deserve my regulated self. They deserve respect. They deserve the best of me. But undeserving children are the ones that don't behave the way I would want them to, the way I have labeled as bad behavior, and they do not deserve my calm. They do not deserve my respect. They do not deserve the best of me. And in that, we divide into you should feel good about yourself, you should feel bad about yourself. And if you feel bad about yourself enough, then you might change. And then we create two worlds: the good children, the bad children, the victim, the bully, the good guys, the bad guys. When we have better than, less than, when we're not all together, when we're not all just doing and being the best that we can be, and while some are struggling, some can access their best selves. If we don't understand that and we have this division, we cannot connect. However, if we see behavior differently, and if we understand that some behaviors are safe behaviors, and we see it and perceive it like that, safe behaviors, unsafe behaviors. Safe behaviors come from the children that feel calm in their hearts. Safe behaviors come from children that feel peace in their hearts. Unsafe behaviors come from children that are in distress, children that are struggling, children that are hurting. So children that have that peace inside, these are children that are, highly we will see helpful behaviors. However, from these hurting children, we will see hurting behaviors. And in that, we have got to be able to see the call for help. But until we can see it like that, safe behaviors, unsafe behaviors, and understand that hurting children in distress hurt others, we won't be able to practice the power of unity. So I encourage you to do that. See behaviors as safe as unsafe. But for us to truly be able to practice the power of unity, we have got to start by changing our CD-ROM. That CD-ROM that at times says, I have some really wonderful children in my class, they're so good, but I have others that are so hard. I know I got like 5 bad and the rest are good. And let go of those beliefs and change it into knowing that we're all in this together. I have heard Dr. Becky Bailey for years say, we're all in this together, and today that takes more meaning than ever, to truly know that we're all inextricably connected. That the world is a whole, and let's pretend the world is a whole, and then we're all just little cells, tiny little cells in the world. And all those tiny little cells, if this is a whole body, we know that they are essential for the optimal functioning of the world. Because if one cell is sick, if one cell is not doing well, it affects the whole. It affects a whole world. So when I criticize the person beside me, when I choose hurtful actions towards others, I am also hurting myself. And that is to deeply consider when we talk about the power of unity, and in the knowing that we must create this world, this universe in our classrooms where we know that everyone matters, everyone is essential. We all care about one another. And when you are hurting, we hurt too in a way. Your well-being, my well-being, is dependent on the well-being of others. We are a whole. But only when we shift from judgment, criticism, and condemnation into compassion, and in those difficult times, we choose to breathe deeply, calm ourselves, and from the bottom of our hearts, from deep in our hearts, access a place of love and wish well, is that we can do that. So with that, we're going to start with a commitment. And so with that commitment, I ask you, are you willing? Are you willing to contribute to the well-being of others and to your own well-being by being a star and deeply wishing well those who think differently than you do, those who might be showing a grumpy attitude, those who might be struggling, having a difficult moment, or anyone that comes near you. Are you willing to do that? Star and wish well in those difficult moments, anyone who we encounters and which we might be triggered by. And if you are willing, think about it. Are you willing? If you're willing, put your hand up like this and say, I am willing.